can't remember it because like they don't give you just one drug when they knock you out. They give you several drugs, one of which is meant for you not to remember anything.
Yeah, it blocks memories from being stored. Uh,
He was my
I went to
father-in-law was really convinced he was gonna like wake up in the middle of his knee replacement and not be able to move. And it's like there's a guy that stands around whose entire job is to make sure that doesn't happen. And if you think about it, like if you like imagine what your fear response would be if you woke up like that. Like sure, you can't move or communicate, but you think that your heart rate and your blood pressure is going to start to go crazy under that kind of stress or that kind of pain. Like they would know.
They should, yeah, they would be able to notice that. This guy seems to be freaking out. I
Yeah,
will.
his heart should be beating 50 beats a minute. It's going 120. I wonder what's happening.
He's just dreaming about being in a marathon. April's gonna take a little while.
She's already here. I think we're waiting on Sean. Which is fine because it's a good opportunity for me to say that. So tomorrow, speaking of medical issues, there won't be an Outlaws stream tomorrow because I'm having a surgical procedure of my own, and there's a fair chance that nothing happens this next week in general, including the podcast on Saturday. So it depends on how quickly I bounce back from it and how invasive they have to get. But if you're the kind of person that is very carefully watching the channel for things like that, you'll know when we're live because you should get a notification. And I just realized actually I need to check. I need to keep my eye on this stream health because I think I might be trying to upload a video while we're streaming, which is generally not probably a great idea. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm thinking it'll be all right.
With most surgeries, especially like you're having stuff done to your jaw and whatnot, you might want to give yourself at least like 1 day off after the surgery just for recovery.
Yeah. The thing that bothers me the most is I'm not going to be able to play saxophone for 2 weeks, and I have the.
Are they giving you stitches or are they giving you the like glue?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not going to be able to play for a couple of weeks, and I have like a really important gig coming up in like 3.5 weeks, so I'm only going to have like a week and a half to prepare for it, which is generally not how I work. Like I like to prepare well in advance for stuff like that, and so I'm not sure where I think I'm just gonna have the lower part of my horn out just so I can press the buttons while I look at the music and everything. I think that's the thing that has me stressed out the most about this is like this is gonna have an enormous impact on my work, and it. Also, I can't remember the last time I've gone without playing for 2 weeks. Probably high school. I mean, I'm just
just take care of the
nerd.
Yeah.
I mean, like
they tried to beat the nerd out of me in what 5th grade. My stepdad made me play Little League, and it was right when I joined band and I discovered the saxophone and I discovered that I liked it a lot. And it was like, I think I'd much rather play the saxophone than Little League because this is the dumbest shit in the world. Not only am I not necessarily an athletic person, but this is one of the most boring sports in the entire world. And I'm in the outfield, just like looking at grass.
Yeah, picking daisies.
Yeah.
I always find it funny when they stick like the kids that don't like baseball into the outfield, or like the kids who they don't think are talented into the outfield, because that can screw over a team so much. Because when the ball finally does go out there,
yeah,
it's like it's an instant home run for the other team, like inside the park home run.
Yeah, whoever's on base.
Our coach was like there was like that one real popular boy in school his dad was our baseball coach, and he had some like brief minor league something or other, or maybe he played in college or something. I don't even think it was like minor league or anything, but and he was such an asshole in general, and everyone really hated him.
It's that like big fish in the small pond syndrome. Like,
Oh
you know,
yeah,
that they're the most talented kid within like the little town or whatever.
yeah,
But then when they finally get out to the wider world, they find out they're just a dime a dozen talent wise.
yeah. It was a little league
I.e.,
team
coming to
in
Hollywood.
the little league team in Mackinac, Illinois, population like 1,200, and here's this guy
Mhm.
that's like, I played ball in college, and I'm like, I don't know if I don't know if I give a fuck.
You
I
sound a
mean,
little bit like Hank Hill there,
and then
which he
and
would
then it could
never
get
say like that.
and then it could get even like more tragic. Like my wife, there was a guy from her high school. He actually made it to the majors. He got signed on by the Yankees, and in his first appearance, he tore his ACL, and his career was over.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Pastor Nicky? How you doing, man? I saw your pictures in on Discord.
I I have you guys beat. My neighbor had a fully fledged scholarship through college and a sure seat with the Dodgers. And
Nice.
then he decided to get racist with the college librarian.
Oh,
What?
And yep, and she got him kicked out for it.
don't ever fuck with a
What
college
a
librarian.
dumbass.
Those guys deal with a lot. Like, I didn't realize until I got to college how common it is for students to fuck in the library. I didn't know that
It's
was
really
that's a thing that is common apparently to most universities. And
Hmm.
in fact, it was such a big deal that at freshman orientation we did like a little library orientation where they did like a little presentation, and it was really cute. It was a cute presentation with slides and pictures, and they went over the library rules, and all the like each library rule had a, an illustration with peeps like the candy, and
nice.
yeah, and it was like this. It was memorable, and it was really neat. And when we got to the no fucking in the library part, they were like the picture was a peep bending another peep over a copy machine. It was the funniest shit in the world. But I didn't realize that was a thing that happened until I got to college.
College kids will fuck.
Yeah, but the thing is, that like,
There's so many other spots.
yeah,
There's so many other
you
spots.
just tell your roommate to fuck off for a bit, Then you have your own
Yeah.
room. And I had my own room for like second semester freshman year. I moved on to a
Or maybe your roommate likes to watch, and then you can make some money
yeah,
on the side.
right. You
Who knows?
like you discover your inherent bisexuality, and then everything works out just fine.
I got so lucky I never have to have a proper roommate.
I did
I
first
but I
semester. I
mean
did. He played football. We had so little in common. He's very straight. He's very into football. He was there on an athletics scholarship, and wasn't very academic. And I was like the exact opposite of him in almost every conceivable way. But we got along in this weird, like, we're gonna make this work kind of way.
There was no direct competition in each other's field.
Yeah, I think maybe that actually is a pretty good point now that I'm thinking about it, because like all the friends that I made in college, um, it was always a tight wire act of who am I directly competing with, and
Hmm.
like who do I not need to deal with, and also in that field, particularly when you're like if you're at a conservatory, there are some really insane personalities.
Yeah, yeah, truly unhinged.
He was really chill. He didn't give a fuck about anything.
The thing I hated most in university was like I was living on the arts campus, and just all of the drunk like actors beneath my window, like every night, just like blitzed out of their minds singing show tunes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our
It's like, come on.
conservatory had a very, very strong anti-musical theater prejudice.
I
It-
wish mine would.
it was really ridiculous. It was like borderline problematic because they even had their own like little building and everything, and
Also,
also
everybody on my campus had access to alcohol because we actually had it like pubs in the student union and whatnot because it was the UK.
no one around, like none of the restaurants or anything around campus ever carded anyone because that's just free fucking money. But like these theater kids would have to come over to the music building because they'd have like a music theory class or something that was a part of their degree that they had to take. And so like freshman year, half of the music theory class I was in were theater majors. And it was heinous. Like it was really heinous the way we treated each other.
Oh,
I believe
right.
it.
But
Well,
really,
I believe
fuck
we
those guys.
have everybody. We have everybody here now.
Sorry.
Hey there, Sean.
I accept
All
your
right.
apology.
Don't mean
So,
Apology accepted, Captain Nita.
I don't mean to be late all the damn time.
You're just that kind of person.
So some of my roles might be a bit slower tonight, as I explained a little bit earlier. I had hand surgery a couple days ago, so I'm only working with one hand.
He had a furious masturbation incident and had to have surgery to correct it.
I'm sorry.
I wish. Unfortunately, it's genetic, so I might need another surgery in 10 years.
Wow.
But
Hey, I mean, it's genetic for all of us,
Yeah.
am I right?
It's a human need, my friend. It's a human need.
I'm sorry about that.
But no, it's fine. It's fine. At least I had it done. And actually, funnily enough, this condition that I have, which basically strengthens the joints basically far too much, so I can't actually uncurl
Is that
a couple
autoimmune?
of the fingers. I don't think it's autoimmune because it just builds up more tissue, but it actually melds well with one of my wife's conditions.
Does she not have any hands?
Which basically lets her bend too much. So
I actually know that about your wife.
There we go. And
yeah.
So
also very sorry, Richard's wife. I didn't mean it. It was just a joke.
Leaving off last time on Gungans and Dragons.
Dragon Ball Z.
You guys were still on the floating palace of Drynax, having kind of come to a point of honesty with each other about the nature of what was going on with your new captain. And
not to trust him with $38 million, you mean?
Exactly. This is entirely the captain's fault. 100%.
Yeah, I think that is the agreement we came to. It was all Sean's fault.
You made the confirmation that you were hiring at the very least Billiam, the Vogger engineer, aka like Wolfman Vogger, Barbie the astrogator, Vim, who is also ostensibly an astrogator, but seems to be more an intern now. And Veronica, who is a former Drynaxian Marine. So those are the ones that have been confirmed. You hatched a plan to attempt to find the M-Boys and went to a local hangout after a few initial attempts didn't work and discovered from some locals that a local named Mark had hired out his ship and was basically just that night getting ready to leave. And you guys made a few calls where over kind of like the open comms at the time, you were mentioning all of the crimes that were being caused by the M-Boys. You then basically got told by Mark he couldn't do anything, but then he kind of slipped to you where he was going to be going. You started to prep uh, one of your ships, but you didn't have access to your Harrier, so you were going to get ready on Andrew's ship. And at that point, you contacted the local authorities, who then kind of pinged Mark's ship, who still hadn't jumped. Apparently, there was some sort of altercation on Mark's ship, and they attempted to jump way too close to a gravity well and initiated a misjump, which to Barbie at the time, who was with you, who rolled exceptionally well for this roll, she basically said, almost certainly they're all dead now.
They deserved it.
But there's still a chance. I think we agreed.
I think there could be an argument that Mark might not have deserved it. But
I mean,
so
he helped them out though.
Yes, he was hired to make a trip by people who had money.
Sean, you're one of those guys that sees the world in black and white, aren't you?
No, I said orange.
But,
No, he's a dirty capitalist scum, and he deserves his fate.
But
Okay,
at this point-
Well, when you put it that way,
You know what? I didn't want to release about my character just yet, but now that I got called that, I have to. My character is actually working against that. One of the reasons he's engaging in piracy is because he wants to bring down the system that betrayed him.
oh, okay.
So, at this point, it is about like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You guys are like midway through getting Andrew's ship ready, and yeah, you can make a decision on what to do from here. But just for anybody who's listening, I think it might be worth just going around introducing your characters. Since I was just mentioning Andrew. So April, if you want to introduce yourself and your character.
Yes, I'm April, and I play Andrew. She started out as a free trader and also had a stint in the Drynax Marines. Being a native of Drynax, she's kind of excited for the King's grand plan to use piracy to basically sue for territory in the Trojan Reach.
You said
Brilliant.
she is excited for that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she actually has some patriotism. All right, Daniel.
My character's name is. Hold one moment, please. Ukluna?
Ukluna. Yep.
Yeah.
Ukluna Enks.
And I'm a spy. And I was horribly disfigured, and I'm still even now obsessing over the fact that we lost $38 million. And would like to underline again the fact that our captain is the reason that money is not there.
Yeah, that's not how I remember it.
Well, for the next person, Sean can somewhat address that. Sean.
Yeah. Try to defend your actions.
Yeah. So, who are you playing tonight?
I am playing Gani Makor. Yeah, he got betrayed by those space punks because he needed space drugs, but he instead got space flour.
And salt, I think. I think they sprinkled some salt in there for you too.
Yeah, just to give it some extra taste.
Yeah, because if it's just flour, you could tell that just looks like flour. But if you mix some salt in there, hey, that's a variety of textures.
Right.
It could be anything now.
But he came close to. He came clean because he felt as captain. He should be forthright with his.
More responsible than he's been.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
Oh, it's all good. Also, you said I'm the spy, right?
Yeah, I'm the spy.
No.
Yeah.
No. Ukluna was the spy.
Yeah.
From
I
know of.
I'm not the spy. I'm a spy.
Okay. Because I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
if he was the spy, we wouldn't know about it.
Yeah.
Well,
And And I was going to say for Gani McCore, your character is one of the most well-known politicians slash naval people within Imperium space.
Oh, nice.
You're kind of like Grand
And you
Admiral
have
Thrawn.
Yeah.
you have an 18 social, except unlike Grand Admiral Thrawn, you're mostly known because of that one book that you wrote.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think canonically Thrawn's written any books.
So I'm like that one guy who wrote that one space book, and now everyone's in a fucking cult because of it.
Oh, L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you were on so many coffee tables, my friend.
Nice. And under him too to help balance him out.
Probably a few.
Well,
Okay.
oh, sorry. I was making a joke when you said I'm the spy. I was like, oh, okay, you're gonna get shot by.
Yeah,
General
I know
Price,
you're making a General Hux joke.
Yeah.
I was trying to ignore it because as we all famously know, the sequel trilogy apparently isn't canon.
It's fucking.
Or it's going to be. I think it's going to be rendered not canon soon. Because I think they plan to summarily execute some of the leadership or something. Maybe Kathleen Kennedy or something.
Soon a man will be able to write a story, and he'll do what's needed.
Yeah, like can I speak to a man, please, about Star Wars?
You know what? I might be happy with any new trilogy as long as they plan the entire trilogy from the beginning.
Like you mean like how George Lucas
I am
did?
also just for anyone just tuning in. I was being facetious. I wasn't being.
Not me. I'm a raging misogynist.
Yes, I'm a piece of shit.
I'm sorry.
Monty, if you can introduce yourself and your character.
Okay, I'm playing Slems Leonid, a disgraced noble who definitely wasn't involved in the death of his aunt, and is super happy that the entire team is 100% behind the idea that our captain is responsible for losing the $38 million.
$38 million.
$38 million, even though I was the one that handed it away.
Well, so now that we're all brought up to speed, so it's been so you're all through officially 2 days. You have a bit less than 5 days left now. It's about like it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. You're on a ship that you were getting ready to go to chase after the ship that just misjumped. Andrew, ostensibly, you are the captain of this ship. Are you making a decision for Billiam to help start the ship to shut down again, or are you still prepping to lift off?
Yeah, I think that we don't have anywhere to go because we don't have a target to chase. So we can go ahead and stand down.
Okay. Oh, actually, you'll probably want to call down to the engine room to Gani McCore, because Gani McCore was the one who was starting up the ship with the power systems, and actually got a pretty good roll for that last time.
And now that he's started, he can't be stopped.
Yeah, we have to go somewhere.
No, we don't.
This ship is jumping regardless of if we're on it or not.
So Sean, you get the call from Andrew to stop initiating the systems and start to shut them down.
To what?
So you're not lifting off anymore. You've been given the order to start to shut down the systems.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you kind of cut out. You said to initiate, and then I just said so. Cut down.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. So I would just need you to make me a roll for this is going to be engineering power. So for you, that's going to be 2d6 plus 2.
Okay, and how much do I have I have like 1 in engineering, right?
You have 1 in engineering, and your education is going to give you a +1 as well.
Okay.
What if he fails this roll? Like, does the ship never turn off?
No. Okay, so what it's
Just
going to mean
explodes now.
Yep. Now
So,
we're all dead.
7 plus
Uh,
1.
roll me 1d6.
You triggered a life event by trying to shut the ship down.
5.
So it's going to take you. It's a little bit tough. You're like in mid-sequence right now. You're kind of like in your groove. It's going to take you 6 hours to basically bring the ship down to minimal power and just stop everything and just reverse through everything. So you're not going to be done until about like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we could get that one disabled guy who floats in the chair to do this. You know, he has his own bed.
You actually haven't hired the old guy who floats.
Oh, why not?
That's a question for the rest of the crew.
Hopefully not
So,
for that reason.
Yeah. Are you all going to be sticking around on Andrew's ship while Gani McCore shuts it down, or are you going to be heading back to the hotel?
I go where you
Your ship.
guys
I
go.
thought it was my ship.
No. This one is Andrew's ship. This is Andrew's personal ship.
Oh, sorry. I thought this was the warship.
Nope. The warship is still being worked on. You couldn't have taken it out if you'd wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Can I look for a grav belt again?
Oh yeah, we could go to Target and get some supplies, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal Andrew's ship and then sell it for
It's
more.
the middle of
no,
the
I'm just
night.
kidding.
Can you get $38 million out of it?
Probably.
Too bad we all only have $2 million to start this adventure together, but
Also,
I feel like we'll be able to persevere
how much
We'll do
purchasing
it
power
for our planet.
does that have? Like,
Well,
A lot. We're pretty rich.
So most of the crew that you're going to be hiring, you're going to be basically paying them, depending upon their role, 2,000 to about 4,000 credits a month. So with 2 million credits, like literally paying your crew, you have like purchasing power to basically run the ship for the next couple of years. Also be aware that you do have the maintenance cost for running the ship while you're out there. So with 2 million, you guys can go for a pretty long time before things start to fall apart. That's assuming you're earning 0.
it's crazy because like with $38 million, we wouldn't even need to be pirates, right? We could just retire.
Well, that's not why we're pirating.
Yeah.
That's
not
yeah,
why I'm pirating personally.
I think you're
so
pirating for the party, I believe, canonically.
So the maintenance cost just for your ship
For the
is 10,000 credits a month.
All right.
But yeah, so I will assume that some of you will go back to the hotel to sleep. It's going to take Gani McCore a bit longer because, well, you're off working on the ship. So I assume you'll head back to the hotel and probably not wake up again until like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Probably, yeah. So like my normal sleep schedule.
But in the meantime, and Barbie already went back to the hotel. Billiam went back to his place. So you've currently hired Veronica, Vim, Barbie, and Billiam. Is there anything else, anybody else you'd like to hire at the moment? Because you have a few systems where you might want some either redundancy or someone specializing in something.
I mean, if we have 2
Can I
million
hire my
credits,
boyfriend?
If you remember your boyfriend, the Aslan, he's been working on something himself, and he said next time that you're back, he might actually want to hire you in your services. But it would involve you going to Aslan space.
Okay.
So one of the things that you all might want to consider now that your characters only have at this point 4.5 days before your ship's ready, where exactly do you all want to go? I assume that the next night you all kind of meet up. It's like dinner. And it might be something you all want to discuss.
Well, do we have a directive from the king on where he wants us to start?
It's just not in home space.
Right, you're right. We're not going to shit where we eat, but like there isn't. Is there a way to coordinate with his efforts to make sure we're
So broadly speaking, he said that he wants you to kind of prey upon vessels outside of Drynaxian space, whenever possible. Kind of like plug, like Drynax is here for you. We're more reliable than the Aslan or the Imperium. Like if there's some people in honest need of help, you can go ahead and help them and be like, hey. It's much better if you work with us and you help us sell our misgotten goods and whatnot.
we can protect you from pirates.
Basically, yeah.
That we are.
You could be your own your own protection scheme.
We could do like a Tony Soprano thing.
Yeah, I mean, and
But then we'd have to fight pirates.
I mean, fighting competing pirates is something that pirates have done historically.
So, second question, I suppose, then, is where could we go that'll have the most financial gain for us?
Our planet, because it's totally socialist.
Well, they probably don't have any money then.
Oh yeah, their planet, because they're totally capitalist.
Yeah, about to
So
say, we
if
should
you-
hit all the capitalist planets first.
Hell yeah. Also, we should kill the families of. Oh, yeah,
Jesus Christ, dude.
yeah. I mean, we gotta. Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I don't agree with it, but considering Mussolini's granddaughter is also a fascist, I get why let him kill the Romanov kids. I get it.
I did not expect this conversation all tonight.
I really thought that was going to start off with it. I'm just going to say it, and I don't mean to be racist, but
The Romanovs, I agree.
well, so we're making it I suppose since you're the captain, it is capitalist societies are now a priority target.
Yes. Yep.
I'm actually okay with that.
Also, I'm gonna feel really bad if your channel gets suspended because of what I just said.
Nah. I wouldn't worry about that.
So,
Okay. This is you're just a piece of shit, Sean. No worries.
Okay.
I think people are.
so if we have the map up, I have the map up here. If you want to see my share. So we are here.
Oh, there you are. All right.
The A's and B's and C's are the sizes of the ports, which does give us some idea of how much traffic they might have. So we're here. And we have a jump to drive that can make 2 jumps without stopping. So we can visit. This is Aslan space. Here in the yellow.
I wonder if I can undock
we
this and put this on the stream.
I would assume so.
You know, I'm just going to move this over.
So, this is kind of the range. You have Torpal, Clark, into you have Azam, Porn.
Did you say?
I'm sorry. What's the name of that system again?
That's Porn with a U.
Let's
That's
go
porn with
there.
a U.
I vote there. I vote we go to
Porn.
porn.
Porn with a U.
Oh, Pern.
Does that say heifer or hilfer?
That's an L.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, what a weird part of the galaxy that must be.
It's the fetish side of the galaxy. They're all furries over there. Furry porn.
I don't. What a random thing.
Oh dear.
Like, shut up, Sean. Okay.
it'd be very expensive to find a fur in porn. It's a very hot planet. They have
So-
no need for them.
Imposter Nikki in the comments would also like us to go to porn.
And everything that is circled in red is generally considered a restricted system.
Ooh, let's do that.
Yeah, but that's all the way
Res-
over there.
But okay,
Restricted.
what are the
system.
like? Are we not allowed to go there? Or are there consequences for going there?
Usually they're restricted for different reasons. Sometimes it's because there's like a developing alien species that everyone has agreed that they're not going to interfere with them.
That's where Earth is.
No. Earth is actually currently in the middle of almost like a dark age after trying to rebel against the Imperium. But that's a whole different story right now.
The Imperium of Man.
Sometimes it's because like there's dangerous technology there and people just get wiped out. Sometimes it's because a black hole has mysteriously appeared in the system.
There's Sam's World. That's like Sam's Club, right? Maybe we can go there.
They probably have a grab
Probably
belt.
got some good deals.
Did Sam invite you?
No.
You always have to get Sam's permission.
No, we don't. We're
You need
pirates.
Sam's permission.
Let's say I mean, if it's like Sam's Club, we probably have to have a membership card, right?
No, we're pirates. We can just steal a membership card.
Well, yeah, never mind. I was gonna make a joke about
We're
how
going to porn.
let's go to
Sorry.
porn.
If you want to know what you would have in your database about Ergo, if you're looking at Ergo,
We didn't
this
say
is what-
ergo. We said porn. We'd like to go to porn.
Okay,
Ergo.
well,
Also,
That is where we're
yeah.
going.
Also, is the spaceport at porn called the Porn Hub?
okay. Again, Richard only has one hand, so I did look up one thing for you so far. So what pops up on your little computers is Ergo is a great failure of the General Development Company. In 800, Ergo was a relatively prosperous Tech Level 7 world, primitive, feudal, and insular, certainly, but much more stable than many of the other worlds in this sector. The Council of Barons had even successfully driven off bands of raiders from the Sindel subsector using primitive atomic missiles and was experimenting with redeveloping jump technology. Jedico...
Okay, so if we go there, we have to deal with nukes.
Ergo, we shouldn't.
Yes. Yeah, there are some interesting problems right there. Their Class A starport was destroyed by terrorism, and the entire planet has devolved into warring feudal states that have nukes and whatnot. So the planet right now is a hostile mix of radioactive wasteland, cannibal tribes, and pirate bases.
So how,
That really sucks for them.
yeah, that sounds terrible. So how long does it take to get to porn?
Basically, it's Fallout.
Did you say Poland?
He said porn.
I
So
said
you want porn? Okay, hold. Okay,
Yeah,
let me take a look at that.
yeah. I'm pretty sure we made that abundantly clear.
Out of character, April, are you okay with that or no?
Okay, so this is what you get for your entry.
Huh?
Named for the ancient writer Pornell, this world is ruled by a calcified, paranoid, bureaucratic caste who assume that all off-worlds are probably saboteurs sent to destroy the planet. Porn custom officials are notoriously aggressive and heavily armed, and the planet is protected by a bristling array of SDI satellites.
I
Despite
swear
this
to
attitude-
God there for a second. I thought you said STI.
He did.
No, SDI.
No, I heard STI
Yeah.
satellite. Continue.
Sorry, my brain
despite-
is just now in an entirely different place than it should be.
Despite this attitude, its stability and technology level make porn one of the most important trade hubs in the subsector.
See?
I call lies. It's like when you put like your stuff in a folder called homework.
That's why you never name your folders.
Everything is new folder.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just put my folders within folders, and it's just folder section.
Oh, and basically, every little you could see in those hexes there, every little thing where you see like a little Saturn symbol in there as well, that means that there's a gas giant that you can use to refuel your ship.
It is the perfect place for us to conduct our first hit and run.
Hold on. Richard, are you also sharing something?
No.
Oh, okay. You were talking. Okay.
No, yes. So if you look, I did put like the thing that's listed poster side B. If you want to look at the map as well.
Okay.
I put that in Discord before. If you scroll up a little bit.
I thought you were doing the same thing April was doing. Having that map up actually is really handy.
So there's the big map of the sector. But yeah. So any other targets like April? Was there a target in mind that you wanted the little blurb from?
We could also make it to PAL, right?
I've done a little bit of research from the map.
We can go to PAL World.
Isn't it PAL?
I mean, any of, like I said, I think all of these would have lots. They all would have lots of trade. Clark has a really good spaceport, which might mean that we want to be on their good side, because they might be able to work on the ship later.
Okay.
Was that a correct assessment, Richard?
Sure.
It could be, yeah. What's their tech level? Were you just in it?
That might be the problem. I don't know, unless you had more information than I had.
If their tech level doesn't help, then fuck them. Let's pillage.
Yeah.
Well, because the big problem with your Harrier is, like, despite the fact that it's awesome, is the fact that it's tech level 15, so its technology is a bit more advanced than most of the rest of the sector.
Is that bad?
I mean, it's bad when it comes to repairs.
Oh, I gotcha.
Because most worlds aren't, like, prepared to, like, work on something that advanced. It would be like a computer specialist from like the 1950s trying to repair a computer from like now.
Where does the transistor go? Is what he'd say.
Yeah.
I got you.
What are all these weird chips in here?
Well, we could also go. I mean, there's also Ace and Number One. Just ideas.
What do you mean you can look up porn on this? Is also what he'd say. What were you saying, John?
Oh, there's Number One and Ace, which we could go to, I guess, which is not that far away.
Seems pretty neutral to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, you could always venture into Aslan space as well. That's within your range.
Ooh, the cat people? Yes.
To pillage the Aslan.
Well, I don't want to hurt the cat people. They're cat people. They're cool.
Yeah, I prefer pillaging the cat people in other ways. If you catch my drift.
Oh. Why did that sound vaguely JD Vance?
Because I made it up and I don't really feel that way.
Oh, so kind of like this.
He has a thing against cat people, I guess.
Oh, of course he does. He has a thing against everything.
If you don't have your own biological children, you're just trash to him.
Ugh. Yeah, maybe him and the other guy will like maybe they'll just die within 50 days or something.
I heard this fucking horror story of a possibility that, and there's a non-zero chance that this could happen, where each candidate gets 269 electoral votes, and then nice, right? Yeah, and then it pretty much goes to Congress to decide out of the three highest scores who gets elected. They pick the candidates, and there's a scenario in which Donald Trump could be the president and Tim Walz could be the vice president.
Why not? If they get 269, we just have two presidents.
No, it's a great idea, Sean, because historically both sides have been able to agree on so many things.
Right? I mean, hey, at least nothing bad.
Are they gonna also split control of the military?
Right.
Yeah,
I
but
just watched that movie Civil War. It would be that.
Oh yeah,
It would just be that
Yeah.
immediately.
I think they had 3 factions though, right? And in that there's a weird scenario where like Texas and California were allies.
that's weird.
Yeah, which is like
That is very weird.
yeah, it should never happen. Anyway,
Oh, we could go to fantasy.
I think Florida was like allied with someone who's they're normally not either. And Nick Offerman was the president. The whole thing was very weird, but a good movie.
All right. But okay.
I mean,
So
honestly, sorry.
Yeah. So any thoughts on which one you're gonna attempt to go to first?
Well, I guess listening to my crew, what are the 3 of you think we should go to?
Well, I'm worried about porn now because it sounds kind of dangerous.
Seems like a slippery slope.
Yeah, and
It's-
I don't know how much risk I want with my adventures into porn.
What about
Okay, so because you've been talking about porn so much and you're worried about the defenses that you've been talking about, can you roll? This is just for Ukluna, based on you being an agent before. Can you roll me 2d6 plus 3? And this is for Daniel.
$14.
All right. You have, you do remember kind of.
Oh, have I been to porn?
No, but you have
Ah.
remembered going through just some intelligence reports about its defensive capabilities,
Okay.
and you know that the majority of their defensive satellites are basically surrounding the planet itself. They don't really have defensive satellites throughout the rest of the porn system, except for 3 that are at various Lagrange points around its gas giant. The capabilities of those defensive satellites are probably more than enough to take down your ship if they flagged you as a hostile.
Do I know
And
what?
you were within range.
Do I know what they're guarding? Because that's kind of weird that they would have defensive satellites on their planet and then just like in other random spots.
Having defenses around the gas giant actually isn't all that random, because if a hostile force came in to their space and they didn't have enough fuel for some of their systems, what they would do is they would book it for the nearest gas giant to refuel.
Oh, okay.
They would just drain the whole planet.
Well, because for basically almost every single ship that has a jump drive, you have the capability of opening up scoops for your ship and basically going up into the upper atmosphere and getting hydrogen that way.
It's also important to note that since we can do 2 jumps without stopping, that we could do our first jump wherever we want to do it if it's within 2. And then if anything is bad, we would not have to get fuel in order to make a rapid exit, as long as we jumped somewhere that had fuel.
So we could go to Torpal.
Yeah, so
that
we could
also
go to
seems-
Torpal or we could go to porn, and then from there, if things don't go well, then we can immediately jump to, well, if we're going to Torpal, we have lots of options. If we're going to porn,
Yeah.
we have a couple of options that open up. Like I said, I think Torpal is a good central.
Yeah.
Going to Torpal
That-
means that you have like 5 systems that you can jump to.
It's a plan A with better plan B options.
All right. I'm convinced. You've convinced me.
Let's Let's do Torpal, where they don't have automated satellites defending shit.
Yeah. Yeah, those sound like not a good time.
Okay.
They do have the Torpal Blade, though.
That will be a problem.
I believe you're thinking of Vorpal blades, but yes.
Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you.
I literally just sleeved that magic card a couple seconds ago.
I was thinking of Captain Tarpals from Star Wars.
It kind of sucks he got killed by Grievous, right?
Yeah.
Like-
So about Torpal, Torpal is a water world with no surface land. The limited population lives on the ice caps at the north and south poles of the planet, or on the huge stilt-supported platforms built in shallow water. The planet's primary industry is, unsurprisingly, fishing and producing hydrogen fuel for trade convoys that dock there. Despite Torpal's lack of natural resources, the provosts who rule the planet have proven themselves canny merchants, buying and selling goods along the Florian trade route. The eccentric Florian League is a difficult trading partner, as guessing what the Florani will decide to invest in next is something of an art, and the provosts have studied the demands of the distant league in order to predict which goods will sell in coming years. Torpal has also made its name as a planet for shore leave by establishing a string of pleasure ports along the tropics.
Ooh.
Torpal's high law level is a reflection of the provost's need to keep the planet's reputation as a safe place to relax. The pleasure ports may feel wild, erotic, and untamed, but they are actually the safest place on the planet.
Let's do it.
All right.
We'll rob all those rich people. Yep.
I was about to say, like,
They'll be too drunk off of space margaritas to know what's happening.
Yep. Too drunk off their space asses. I agree.
we can give them the margaritas even.
Yeah.
Well,
All
Sean,
right.
you're the captain. I think you get the final.
April, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that it provides us a lot of options if we do have to make a hasty exit. Maybe we can get lucky and we can find a pleasure barge to hit, or somebody bringing in trade goods.
Gotcha. Okay, weird question. This is just me being awkward, I guess. But have I said anything that's been uncomfortable tonight? Because I feel like I have
No.
for some reason. No?
I don't think you have.
This question, because now you're forcing me to recall immediate things, and I have a poor short-term memory.
I don't
sorry.
think I've not printed out a transcript of this conversation.
Okay. I don't know why. I just get like that sometimes. Where like I get worried, I guess, and like I don't know, it's probably just anxiety.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds like a touch
Well,
of social anxiety.
Or
So
You,
it
you know,
is-
you know what I do when I start to fear that I've crossed that line is I ignore it.
Oh, gotcha.
That's why everyone is
I
really.
doubled down on all the
Yeah,
jokes.
it's why I have. It's why I famously have so many friends.
So,
Right, yeah.
looking at the your ship, are you all happy with the roles that you currently have filled?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Well, hold on.
So-
Are we gonna hire that other guy? Well, what don't we have? Like, do we have anything that's empty? Like any vacant? Like, are there any jobs that aren't being done?
It's a good question. So looking at your ship right now, pilot-wise, so currently you have kind of an issue with Gani Makor. So Gani Makor can either
$38 million worth of issues.
Yeah.
Well, Gani Makor can either be for you guys a really great pilot because he has a really great pilot score. He can be a really great power distribution engineer, or he can also be like a gunner.
Do we
Well,
get
I'm
to
assuming-
do we get to pick that for him, or do we have to let him choose?
Well, I mean, I assume since he's captain, he can choose, but probably the most cost-effective thing for him to be for you guys would be the pilot.
Yeah, we have redundant right at the present. We have redundancies in the other areas. We have generic engineering, and we have one gunner.
Yeah, so you have 2 gunner positions.
We're,
So
we're
currently
gonna
you have
we're gonna
one
teach Vim to gun, right?
Okay.
That will take time.
But that will take time. So he might not be ready to do it straight off.
I just remember the idea was floated.
Well,
By-
there again,
by-
we don't
by
know what
me.
that is.
So you don't have redundancy for engineers right now. You just have Billiam. Like you can get you could get Gani McCord to go over to help him, but at, the second that he does that, he's no longer piloting the ship. And
Ooh.
right now you don't have anybody for maintenance.
Could we ask the guy who's working on the ship just to tie the weapons into like the steering?
Like, just
They're
control it
charged,
all
that's
from
not how it
one.
works.
I mean, yeah, that's what they do, and that's what the Millennium Falcon does, right?
No, they have turrets.
Yeah, they actually have like 3 different weapon systems, like entirely separate weapon systems. He can fire guns from the cockpit, and he can fire proton torpedoes from the cockpit.
Right. Yeah.
Well, ours doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that would be pretty neat. So I feel
So-
like leaving the maintenance spot open is a little foolish.
I have
I believe.
mechanic 1.
Okay, is that
You
enough?
You have
To,
maintenance
Yeah.
1.
I have mechanic 1. Is that
Mechanic
maintenance?
1. Yeah. So maintenance would be covered under mechanics.
Yes.
So basically, right now it's also trying to settle what are your guys' roles as the ship goes on.
I'll be
So
pilot.
we have Gani McCord as the pilot.
If it's the path,
I'm pilot.
Well, you're a very good
I'm
pilot. And
pilot.
we're not going to be able to find a pilot as good as you.
Well,
But
no,
we
I
could
know.
find-
But
I
We
can
could find another engineer 1.
I can
probably.
always count on you to get my random '90s movie references.
Lem says under his voice, "We could find a new captain too."
I'm gonna pat you on the back, be like, "Hey, yeah, that'll be you in about maybe 5-10 years, after with my training."
You're gonna be. Oh, are you vice captain? Are you like captain in training?
Yeah, training him.
Actually, the fun fact is that Slems for leadership roles actually gets to add +4 to his roles.
Jesus.
So he's actually a decent leader.
He's not.
Why do I get to add +4?
So you +3 from leadership and +1 from your social.
Oh, nice.
I know I said that. Andrew, you're my first mate, right?
No, I think you said you were telling him that. You're telling Slums that.
Okay.
I
yeah.
thought I was your first mate.
Well, I couldn't remember because I was gonna say whoever. I was asking if it was okay if I made Slums my first mate.
So
I think you already have.
Slems the acting is Slems the acting captain as you're piloting?
I mean,
Like doing the overview of the systems?
so I'll say so I think maybe while I'm piloting will be co-captain, but so I'll say he's the XO in charge while I'm piloting.
But I like capitalism.
But
I've directly benefited from it my entire life.
I'll
Also,
probably
co-captaining is a terrible idea. I'm just putting that out on the table right now. Just from a mechanics standpoint, that's a terrible idea.
I got
I
you.
don't want to be co-captain. I want all the captain.
I'm coming
But
for
it's kind
all
of
of it.
funny because Slems actually doesn't have any other abilities to help you while being on the ship. Like
I'm of zero help.
I mean, Richard, if you think he should be the captain, I'll take a step back. I don't mind.
oh no, I'm just writing down roles right now.
Finally,
So
finally, you're starting to feel a little bit of guilt over losing that $38 million. I see.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
democracy has spoken, Captain.
Well, I mean that was out of character. I just meant I don't know, if it's the path, I don't know,
Hey, you were voted captain. This is your fucking gig.
I know. I just don't want
You
to
made
greedy
Sean.
player,
You
I
made
guess.
a speech and everything. You made a rousing
Yes,
call
you
to
do a
action.
speech. Yeah.
So, Andrew, I'm looking at the skills here.
Also, do I do literally anything? Am I
You
good
have
at?
medic, and
so-
you have
so-
comms.
Yeah, you steal faces.
Yeah, you have comms. You're Uhura.
Oh, I wanted to be
And you
Beverly
have
Crusher
medic.
though. If he said I had medic.
The
You
one
do
who has
have medic, but I'm saying while the ship is operating and you're not having any patients, you can
Oh, I
literally
like
be Uhura.
I like doing comms because I'm the first person that talks to everyone, right?
Yes, and comms is also important for electronic warfare.
Be honest, Daniel. Do you just want to be Beverly Crusher because you can get in on with that ghost?
Maybe okay, so like that's definitely in the pro side, but then I remember that Beverly Crusher is a ginger.
She has a kid.
Yeah, who I had a really huge crush on, by the way, when I was a kid.
Will?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a very pretty boy.
maybe instead of Beverly Crusher, I'll be the doctor from Voyager.
Oh yeah, the bald guy.
My favorite doctor, I think.
He is. I don't know. Bones is pretty great, but he's probably my second favorite.
So,
My God, man.
so for Andrew, do you want Andrew to officially be like the ship's mechanic?
Yeah, I think that's good. I do have engineering. I can help out in. I just don't. I just engineering 0, but I do have the ability to help out in some areas. But yes, but
Okay.
also doing maintenance and also doing.
Okay, so Andrew is our
Right.
Scotty, right?
Okay, and you have Billiam, who's also an engineer.
I'm the alternating guest appearance.
You're Jeffrey
cast
Combs.
member.
You're Jeffrey Combs.
Okay.
No
So
pressure.
You have Barbie, who's your astrogator.
Then that's 7 of 9 actually probably works the best there since she was really into doing work in the astrometrics lab,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep. And then you have, let's see.
And which
Veronica.
which captain is Sean?
So you have Veronica.
Who's the
who is
worst
a
Star
gun.
Trek captain?
The one
Hey.
from Futurama. What's his name?
Oh, Dr.
You are here's an AI
No, he's
over
definitely separate.
when I searched Google for who's the worst Star Trek captain, the AI overview came up with some of the less than perfect captains in Star Trek include.
Cisco, right?
A lot.
Oh my God, James Kirk is on this list. What?
Yeah, because he had sex
I
with
mean,
like
I
every
mean,
fucking.
Yeah, he was a
he's
really
bit of
bad
a loose
captain.
cannon.
Yeah, but he was really cool. Which one was Jellicoe? Edward Jellicoe? I feel like he's a TNG guy, right?
So, looking at the roles on your ship, the
Oh, that I remember that
something
guy.
something that you might want to look up is like maybe another engineer.
Oh, that's what that
And
disabled guy is, right? In the chair.
yeah, so you had two other engineering candidates. The guy missing both of his legs looked like he was around 80 years old, former
Yeah,
professor.
he has the grav belt. Maybe I'll steal his. Let's hire him.
And you have the drone engineer.
Do you see the in
Who-
character? Sluns.
Yeah.
I'll be like, please don't steal his grab belt. He needs that.
Okay. But
Okay,
definitely not
okay.
the drone guy. I don't trust him for no meta reason whatsoever.
Sean, I have your Star Trek captain.
And you had three other
You're-
candidates for a gunner.
Your captain JT Esteban from the Search for Spock.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I put his picture in the chat.
Right, I still don't know who that is.
I just like the way he looks.
He looks kind of like he has like a fake face, I guess. You know what I mean? Like it looks kind of like plasticky, I guess. Maybe it's just
Wow.
the lighting.
Yeah. I just like how
Um,
he's got an energy about him.
I got you.
So Andrew, considering that you are one of the interviewers, are you bringing up these other people to the group to kind of show them
Yeah, I
the
mean, we
other
do
candidates?
have, yes, so we do have these other two engineer candidates. I am kind of worried about the older guy being a liability if things go. I mean, I guess I'm just worried about. I don't want to be age discriminatory, but I mean, he's gonna be not good if like there's a fight or. I mean, he's gonna be limited. He's gonna just be engineering, and if we're fine with that, that's fine.
Well, I mean, it would
Well, maybe
stand to reason he
maybe
has
he dies
experience,
in a
right?
fight. Maybe he dies in a fight, and I get his grav belt.
That would be a really weird way to get a grav belt, but
Then I'd have a nice story.
Also, I think like with his age and experience, like he would just be like a good teacher. He doesn't, like.
This is what he looks like.
something to
however, he
consider as
also
well.
just could be a
Like
boomer
sexy Santa.
and would want everything done his way, and then would feel really entitled and upset if we disagreed.
Did we
you?
get that kind of impression from him?
I can't remember what did we interview him?
We
did.
talked to him a little bit. I mean,
I feel like we interviewed so many candidates that day that I don't exactly remember who he was.
Did you
I
Photoshop?
we spent a lot of time on him.
Did you Photoshop
So-
out his legs, Richard?
I did.
Okay.
Because the AI that you used to generate the pictures would not, for the life of it, get the idea that I wanted no legs. No
Oh,
matter how
okay.
I wrote it.
By the way, so here a little pro tip. I learned this by watching a video from Wired from an AI programmer, like a large language model programmer. They don't do negative requests. So when you say, like, if you say, "Show me a man without glasses," they'll show you a man with glasses. Like, so you can't word a prompt saying you don't want. Like, you have to think of a positive way to say it. So like,
Show me a man in a wheelchair or something.
yes, or show me a man
Show
with
me a
only
man with nothing for legs.
or a man with only 2 limbs.
Or show me a man with nothing but legs.
I did try only 2 limbs, but that didn't work either. Yeah, I got some horror shows, but anyway, he looks about like that.
His 2 arms and a floating head.
Yep, he's got his little floating body.
I mean, okay. So as a player, like as a player, I'm the type of person that likes to like experience everything and talk with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So just now that I know he's out there, I'm kind of like, oh man, I really don't want to let him go if he's like really cool. So I'm gonna say this. Okay, how about this? We'll bring him on. If he's a boomer, we'll just airlock him. It'll be like he never existed.
All right.
Well, you
And
can
I'll
talk
get
to
his
him and see
grab
what
belt.
kind of you can have a second interview with him if you want, and feel him out before we give him an offer. And of course, yes, we don't have to hire anybody on for a determinate period of time. So,
Just
We
a
could
like a
just say-
temporary contract.
I'm just saying we don't have to pledge to keep. I mean, if we just say that it doesn't work out, we can not necessarily put him out the airlock, but just
Well,
get him his
now
walking papers.
now
And-
that
and-
Sean
and-
has now that Sean has floated
And this
it
is
as
the
an
drone
option,
engineer.
I kind of want to put him out the airlock.
Who's this?
That's the drone engineer that applied as well.
Oh,
Aw.
she's wearing a dress.
Does that species have gender, or is it like a she?
They're wearing a
Drone
dress.
are usually gender neutral,
Okay.
But
So
wearing
they're
a
like they
dress.
them, yeah.
and this one applied is a member of the drone engineering cast, and has claimed to have worked in various pirate ships over their career.
So solid employment history.
Yep, taking the drone.
What's their name again?
Engineer.
Oh, so it's like a tiefling then. They're kind of passionate.
They're-
I'm
their
gonna
role.
their names are probably like what you can't pronounce them with human anatomy or whatever.
I think that since they're a drone, their name is their job, right?
So
Yeah.
along with humans and Vogger, drone were known for being one of the servitor races of the ancients as well.
Oh, okay. So you're saying drone is I thought you meant like they worked
It's
on
their
drones.
species.
Like they were a drone engineer.
No,
Oh,
no, no.
Okay. Well.
No, it's a hive species. Yeah.
Okay. And they're just like hanging out without their hive, like they're separated from their hive.
Yeah, they're looking for a new crew to basically become their family/hive.
Okay. I like them.
They said their last one ended up blowing up, so they need a new one.
Were they the reason that they blew up?
We have
They
to
said
ask.
Yeah. You know what?
the-
Let's interview the drone and let's interview the floaty guy. The guy that's floating there without legs.
Okay.
All right, and if you're arranging the interviews for the next day, you also had 3 other candidates who could possibly be a gunner for you. An Aslan mercenary that was missing one arm and had replaced it with a scythe.
Yep.
A human Solomani mercenary that fought in the Earth Wars that specialized in gun combat.
Hired.
And then a human Drynaxian noble that specialized in blade combat.
Yep. Bring him on board.
You mean for an interview, or are you just hiring them?
Sure. Interview first, I suppose.
I mean, technically, all 3 of these could also fill the role of marine for the ship as well, for boarding actions.
But why have 1 Marine when you can have 5 Marines?
Having 5 Marines would be
Well, it would be 4 marines, so technically it wouldn't be too much then, because 4 is
Maybe
less
if we
than
had
5.
another $38 million. But...
yeah. We could just hire the Marines.
You could say they're Space Marines, really.
Well, I would say
Yep.
they probably are a little bit. So, okay, is this going to be like a group interview, or Sean, are you gonna question them?
I think we should all question them. Maybe it'd be like a big group interview.
Okay.
4 of us and the 5 of them.
Okay. Do you want this to take place in the bar that it was before, or are you gonna do like invite them to your hotel for like a second interview?
So our ship's being worked on, right? But can we have the interview on the ship while people are working on it?
No.
Oh.
Currently, it's basically you've tried to get access to it, and they've basically told you guys they're too busy doing all of the refits.
I think that they don't want us to see that they're not really doing anything.
I'll ask them to my hotel room, just because like it'll be kind of like it'll be more informal. I kind of want to I want to see how they are, like when they're what I mean. Like I kind of want to like
Take the
okay,
pressure off a little bit.
Yeah, like I want to say catch them off guard, but that sounds kind of weird.
Well, catching off guard is an interviewing tactic. So
I'm imagining an awkward scene where they're just coming through this like hotel corridor. They enter your room, and it's just 2 twin beds, and sat on one of the twin beds
We
is
could
all
probably
4
rent
of
a
you guys.
You could probably get a conference room for the afternoon.
I'll answer the door in my like spa robe.
Also,
So-
sorry.
Are you gonna like rent out the like ask for a conference room or go in the business center or something of the hotel?
Sure.
I think a conference room would be good. A little bit of privacy, considering what we're talking about, is probably not a terrible idea.
And then, did you want to bring that one? Did you already hire that woman, April?
Yeah, we hired the 1 Marine, Veronica.
Right.
Can I also insist on having Vim with us to observe?
Sure, I love him. He's great.
Yeah.
Like I said, Vim is your responsibility.
Okay.
I'm not walking him. I'm not feeding him.
Okay.
Okay.
Well then I have ordered him to appear.
I'll scoop his litter box. It's fine.
All right. Well, Vim is not an Aslan, though. That could be a slur against an Aslan, saying, "Welcome to the crew. Here's your litter box."
Speaking of that, do
God.
Aslan use litter boxes?
Does who use litter boxes?
Well, this is out of character. Do Aslan use litter boxes, or do they just use the toilet normally?
No, they can use the toilet, and yes, they would call you on your racism if you said them using a litter box.
Well, I wasn't sure. That's why I was asking out of character.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure I'd want to know that much about that species now that you've.
But yeah, all of the candidates agree to meeting you for the next day. You get the room in the business center from the hotel. Vim shows up 2.5 hours early.
Yeah, of course he does.
He has apparently freshly laundered his uniform, and it's like it looks like pressed and crisp. And he stands at attention outside the room because he says that he wants to be giving everyone who enters an ocular pat down.
All right.
I'm gonna go up to Vim and I'm gonna be like, son, you're going places.
Yes, sir. I'm going into space.
In fact, you know what? I'm gonna make you junior petty officer.
Can we make Vim captain?
Sir, thank you, sir. I will show those idiots at the academy that they were wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Does he know this guy? Does Vim realize who he's talking to?
No, I don't. But he's 2 hours early, and he's gonna finally pursue. I'm gonna reward him for that.
Well, I mean,
No, I was
like,
asking him-
because you're famous,
you're,
right?
You're like you're
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah,
And he wants to be you. Does he know who he is?
Actually, as you kind of
He
say
probably
that,
has Sean's book.
No, I'm not bringing it up. I'm just observing.
Well, no. Now that he sees that Gani McCoy is in front of him, he actually pulls from an inside pocket, kind of like rolled up. You can see that it's heavily worn. You can see that there's a lot of pages that have been earmarked.
Stuck
And
together.
as it kind of flaps open for a second, you can see like he's actually at some point highlighted different sentences inside this book. He passes it to you. He's like, "Sir, may I have your autograph, sir?"
He says, "Hell yeah, you can, soldier," and I'm gonna autograph it, like just really neatly and everything.
Okay.
To Vim, the best soldier I ever knew.
Yep. to Vim, my #1 fan. He'll just be my agent doing it. No, I'm just kidding.
So the
Guys,
first
I like
person
Vim.
that-
I think he's gonna go places.
He's gonna die session 1.
I hope he's not like a spy or something.
Oh wait, I know what Richard's gonna do. He's gonna kill him. He's gonna be a morality pet, and he's just gonna kill him.
Or he'll give him a life event and he'll be horribly disfigured.
Sorry for spoiling your plans there, Richard. I'm sorry.
All right, so the first person that shows up, you're all kind of sat at the conference table. You get a knock, and you hear Vim's voice saying, "Sirs, first candidate coming in, sirs." And
Thank
he
you.
opens the door, salutes to you all, and in floats the human cyborg engineer.
Also, I'm gonna shake Vim's hand after I give him back the book with the autograph in it.
He salutes you, and you could see just like this like starry-eyed look in his face.
He's never gonna wash that hand again.
I'm also gonna give him a new book too because his old one's kind of worn down.
Thank you, sir. I shall treasure that, but I shall also treasure this one, for my grandfather gave it to me, and it's my last thing that I have from him.
He says, "You're going places, kid. I like you."
All right. Well, as this engineer kind of settles down, he kind of like floats down to your guys' level. He's like, okay, you called me back. Great. So, you need more of an engineer now than just the Vogger you hired, right? You have a bigger ship?
That's
Yeah.
a pretty big ship.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so I'll be part of a team. Good. I've worked as part of a team before.
Did you
So-
go ahead?
I'm just be like, okay, so not to look at the not to point at the at the space elephant in the room here, but you are kind of on the older side. Will you be able to manage your duties?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Very convincing. All right.
Old just means more experience. I've worked on tech level 8 ships. I've worked on like a couple of tech level 14s at the top of my career. I've been on haulers. I've been on pirate ships. I've been on actual naval vessels. I once worked on a submarine for like 4 years. That was interesting.
Oh, no, was it
That's
in
weird.
space?
No. What? No, it was a submarine.
Was it a space submarine?
No, it
Was it-
went in the water.
Oh, okay.
But I've worked on plenty of actual spaceships.
Well, gotcha. Well, that's good. And yeah, I mean, your resume here says you have like quite a bit of experience.
Yep.
Um,
And I treasure every single one of these wrinkles. I've earned them over my time. I mean, I'm not like some weakling who has to take anagathics. I welcome my age.
I'm gonna twitch a little bit, but I'm gonna try to hold it under control.
Oh man. So I'm gonna make a statement, and I want you to give me your first reaction on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being that never ever happens, that's so weird, to 10 that is happening right now as we speak somewhere in the universe. Are you ready?
Sure.
People from worlds that aren't your own commonly eat other people's pets.
They're people's pets? What,
Eat them.
Like they raise them?
No,
Like
they eat them. They take them,
Like-
they steal them, and they eat them for food.
I don't think that commonly happens in most planets. So maybe I'd say 2 if we're talking about like those worlds that are like red worlds that have devolved into like cannibalism and some shit. Sure, if you're willing to become a cannibal, you will probably eat someone else's pet.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with him.
Okay.
All right. Well, just to let you know, I'm familiar with most engineering systems. I'm proficient in life support. I'm proficient in power distribution, jump drive, and M drive. Though I personally have a passion for M drive systems myself.
How? So given your experience, how okay are you with also being in a teaching role? Teaching younger engineers how to,
I mean, as long as they have a good head on their shoulders, I'm willing to tell anybody anything.
So you're
Like
willing
Vin.
to,
But if they're not willing to listen, I only give people so many shots.
right? But I mean, like you're willing to be like a team leader and a team member, though, right?
Yeah, I've worked with plenty of teams. As long as they know what they're doing and they're not trying to fake it until they make it, that load of bullshit, then I'm fine. But if I know that they're a fucking idiot, I'll call them out on it.
Okay, gotcha. Slemzan, did you have any questions?
I have actually one other question. I noticed your comment about anagathics, and I assume that you would probably respect someone quite a bit less if you found out they were using it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. You're scared of dying? Why even be in space if you're scared of dying?
Hey, that's all I have. Thank you.
Hey, what's your name? What's your name, soldier?
Soldier. I'm no soldier. My name's Clinton Zern.
Well, Clinton Zern seems like with your age and experience. Well, I shouldn't say age. Sorry, with your experience and
With your storied history with life.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna make you head engineer on the ship.
Okay, cool. So from what I was told in the previous interview, I got the vibe that this is going to be for a pirating gig. Am I right?
Yes.
Oh, we don't use that word.
So
It's a dirty word.
We're all here together. I don't really give a shit about what special word you want to use for it. But as long as you give me the fair pay and you give me my share, I'm cool with it because you know I want to work for a few more years and then just settle down somewhere comfortably. And yeah, this seems the right route for me at this point.
And grow old, unlike those idiots who take anagathics. Am I right?
Then I would need to be spending the rest of my life trying to earn copious amounts of money just to afford the habit.
Captain, you're gonna like this guy a lot, aren't you? I have a feeling. I have a good feeling about your guys' relationship.
Yeah, he's he's growing on me, just a little bit.
All right, so is that it? Because otherwise, I have a date with a bottle of scotch.
Sure, yeah, that's all good. I guess report to the ship when it's ready.
Aye, aye. He floats out. The next person to come that Vim introduces is the Aslan mercenary. The 7.5 foot tall Aslan kind of like dips his head as he enters. You guys can see the scythe is kind of like folded in on itself as he walks in. It's replaced his right arm, and he's wearing this elaborate metallic armor over his chest that on first look at first look it looks like impressive armor, but then you can see it's kind of like shifting as you watch it, and it looks like it's just some elaborate cloth shirt that's just been stylized to look like armor. He sits down and the chair creaks. He puts both of his feet on the table, which are bare, and he's kind of sneers. It's like, ah, you came right back to me, didn't you?
We sure did.
Well, I'm the best damn mercenary you could hire for your crew.
No, I agree. You seem pretty cool.
Fuck
Are
yeah,
you-
I'm cool. You know how many people I've killed with my scythe? He slams his left hand on the table.
120.
14. 120? What the fuck? Are you crazy?
Someone in the chat said you sound like Jonah Hill.
Me or Richard?
Yeah, Richard.
So he says, I'm only 22 years old. I haven't had time to kill 140.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it just sounded like there's gonna be a more impressive number there. I'll be honest.
Hey, they were all hand to hand, or hand to paw, or hand to scythe.
So, how much loyalty do you feel toward your home region?
Loyalty? My family doesn't have a single colony to itself. So fuck those guys. As long as I can beat enough guys into submission, find myself my own land, I'll be sitting pretty as the head of my own colony within 10 years. That's my goal. 10 years, I'm going to be the head of a new colony.
All right, so if we were to raise and pillage a bunch of areas in the Aslan area, you wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, fuck them. They deserve it if they're weak enough to be hit by us.
And you wouldn't feel bad about sharing your insights into that culture and maybe giving us an edge on how to fight people your own people.
No. In fact, like I know plenty of slave traders for putting some Aslan slaves.
Whoa, let's not get that far.
Yeah, I don't really, I mean, love the enthusiasm there, but this is a non-slave pirate ship.
His eyes kind of widen.
For
He's
now,
like, really? I mean, it could be pretty lucrative.
Oh, I don't disagree with you there. It's just I don't know. Like, I mean, we gotta have some morals, right? Or else, we're no better than
giant cat people.
His eyes kind of narrow. It's like, what do you mean some morals? Are you saying Aslan aren't moral?
No, no, no. I just mean like no, not that at all. I just meant like we got to have some morals, or like just all of us on the crew, or else we're no better than like monsters. You know what I mean?
Are you calling Aslan monsters?
Okay,
No.
okay. Look, cat guy, it would wound our pride to be able to not pirate without the help of slaves.
No. I'm not saying that we would need the help of slaves. We'd merely, when we're doing the pirating, we would look for certain people on the other ships, and we could possibly sell them as slaves. Oh, that was a big misunderstanding there. Yeah, never crew your pirate ship with slaves. Send them to Aslan colonies to work for the rest of their lives. That's how we do things in Aslan space.
All right, this guy's weird.
Yeah, but he's he's killed 14 people in hand-to-hand combat. He could be if we kept an eye on him, he could be good.
Hand to paw.
Yeah, hand to paw.
Is that? I mean, is that above average for someone of his race?
I mean, how many people? You know what? Don't. How many people? You know what? I don't want to know the answer to that question.
How many people have I killed? You were to ask?
Yeah, I don't know that I want to know the answer to that question.
Or do you want to know how many faces I have? Because they're not the same number.
I'm gonna say Team Huddle for a second.
Yeah, I don't like this guy. I'm just saying that to start off our team huddle.
Okay, I get it, but he he could be like a really good fighter. Why don't we give him a trial run? Give him a couple of fights, and if we don't like him, we can just leave him on a planet somewhere.
Okay, but if you go into his quarters and he started a little slave colony in his bedroom, I'll say I told you so.
Well, we can just fit him out the airlock then.
Well, yeah, because fuck them, am I right?
No, not the slaves.
That's what you said. Never mind. That's fine. I thought you said you're going to vent the slaves out into space.
No.
Like, why? That's worse.
He would be naughty Aslan. We have to put away your presence now. Right into space. Contraband.
Yeah, that'll really teach him about keeping slaves. We'll put his slaves out into space.
Right. But yeah.
All right. Well, you're the captain. Your call.
Well, I know, but this is like a democratic thing. If no one else, I mean, so right now it's one. Like right now,
He
it's
does
one
seem to
vote.
have a bit of a temper.
So is it 2 days then?
Who else did?
Slims, right?
Slems would be, and Slems is the only one who actually has a close relationship with an Aslan.
Hey, he's my friend too.
True. Well, Slems has the closer relationship with that particular Aslan.
Fair.
Slums, what do you think?
He doesn't even have a grav belt, so nothing he can offer us.
Okay, so 3 to 1. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll be like, we'll keep you in touch. We'll keep we'll contact you if we need any other info. I say.
We'll call you. Don't call us.
Yeah.
He laughs and says, "Ha ha! Of course you will." And then as he leaves, you kind of see him pumping his left arm. He's like, "Yeah, third interview in the bag."
Before he leaves, I'm gonna say, "Can I pet you?"
Oh fuck,
Sean, you can't just ask anyone if you can pet them.
He actually does look honestly offended when you ask him that.
Oh boy.
And he's like, "No."
Well, sorry, I gotta shoot your shot though. I guess, right?
Honestly,
You did ask for consent. I do appreciate that.
He just kind of he leaves, but you do see him looking back behind his shoulder a couple times.
I wonder how confident he still feels about the interview now.
Yeah.
Next up, kind of looking like a space dandy, wearing a hat kind of like D'Artagnan had, comes a Drynaxian noble. On his back there are 3 different swords. So instantly Slems, You know him as Leonard. He looks
Great.
at you, Slems, and says, "Ah, Slems. So you're joining a crew now? I don't know. You held such good parties, man. I'm not sure if you're meant for the crew life, but good on you for trying something new."
Actually, Leonard, it looks like you're trying to join a crew. I'm already
Ah,
on
yeah,
one. And then I
yes,
smirk.
I'm actually
yes,
better
but
than you.
Yeah.
yes, but at least one of us has talent with a blade, and last time I saw you use one, yeesh.
Well, that's
Um,
them's fighting words.
My eyes widen a little bit, and I
I
say,
mean, I
I'll show you, Yeesh. You're fired. Get out.
Well, hold up there, hold up there, hold up there, my friend, because the interview's not done yet. But I like your fire.
Leonard laughs. It's like, "Oh, Slems, I always like how you razz people." He sits down and says, "Greetings, everyone else. My name is Leonard. I am the best blades master here on Drynax itself, and I hear you're putting up a decent crew together."
do you have any ability to help the ship while it's underway? While boarding is important.
Yes, boarding is quite important. I do admit that he kind of takes off one of his gloves and like looks at his manicure. I did waste a few years learning how to fire ships' guns and turrets, so I could help out during those periods, but I do more like to get close and personal.
And how and so you said you're the best blade master on here, right?
Correct.
Could I could I put that to the test?
Are you gonna sword fight him?
You kind of see a little glint in his eyes and said, "Anytime, anywhere."
How's right now?
Bitch.
He looks at you and says, "All right, do you want me
This
to loan you
doesn't
one of
seem to
my
be the.
blades?"
This doesn't seem to be. I don't think that's covered by our deposit. We'd have to
You
go
know
down
what?
to the gym.
He actually throws you one of his blades, Sean. Can I have you roll for blades?
Sure. Where's my character sheet? I'm sorry.
So don't worry, I can look that up for you.
Did you
So this
just
is
challenge a man to a sword fight without knowing your your ability to sword fight?
Well, I mean, I do have like a sword skill, I think.
Oh, okay.
yes, you do. So roll 1d6 plus 1.
6, so 7.
Okay, so that's going to be a 7. So as he throws you the sword, you do manage to catch it, but you kind of almost drop it at first.
Okay.
I'm gonna cover my face. I'm gonna cover my face and pretend not to know him.
He unsheaths one of his blades with a flourish. Hold on, let me roll for him. He unsheaths it with a clear flourish and brings it before you and says, "All right, so rules: hit with the flat of the blade once, um, and we'll be done with it. Is that all right with you, or would you like me to actually strike you with the blade itself?"
No, it's just a friendly matchup. I just,
All right, and guard.
Okay.
So you can roll me your blade skill, and he'll roll his.
Oh, he has a +8, huh?
Yep,
And what's mine? Just 1d6?
1d6 plus 1.
3.
Can I pull my phone out and
Uh,
record what's happening?
All right. You attempt to bring your blade near to him. Up. Well, you rolled 1d6, so you could at least roll 2d6 plus 1.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was. Okay. 10.
Okay. So not bad, but so as you move and try to strike him, he just kind of like disappears from your field of vision, and he's kind of like right next to you, and just with a flick of his wrist, he just hits you right in the side of the head, and you drop the blade.
Okay.
He
All right.
laughs and says, that wasn't a bad effort.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So I like this guy. I'll give him back the sword.
Akluna crosses his legs so no one sees the raging erection he has.
Oh, actually, as you try to pick up the sword, he instead basically uses the tip of he uses a toe and just like hurls it up, and it kind of arcs through the air, and he just shifts his back a little bit, and it goes right into the sheath without him having to do anything.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
Oh my god.
I say out loud.
Hold on. One more test. Hold on before you put your sword away. What do we say to the god of death?
Not today. And he looks at Slems and says, "See, you should have accepted those sword lessons I offered you."
Speaking of sword lessons, you know, I mean, how I guess how willing would you be, you know, to teach the people under your command, you know, sword fighting?
How to be a badass.
Oh, well, you know, I need to keep training all the time to keep myself sharp, so I'm always willing.
I'd also be up for some private lessons, I say. Sit back down.
So,
I will die for
do
you.
any of the rest of you have questions?
No questions.
I asked my question.
Team huddle, yay or nay?
Well, sorry,
I'm
April.
I'm
Did you
fine.
ask if you could ask a question, or did you say you already asked?
No, I said I asked my question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm an enthusiastic yes.
Yeah, I don't have a
Slim's
problem.
back is turned to the huddle, but you guys can hear him mutter under his breath as he's furiously typing into his personal computers. Day, da 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 da, time, da da da. And they all just completely disregarded what I said again. Period.
What did you say?
And I go, haha, what? Yeah, he's great. Let's hire him.
Slims is rage tweeting.
Yeah.
So much.
Hashtag asshole crewmates.
Right. So that's two yays against one nay then, right?
Who's saying nay?
Oh, I thought you were saying nay, sorry.
No, I said he's great. Let's hire him.
Oh, okay, sorry. And then April, you're okay with hiring him?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, you. Hey, you know, you're on the team.
Okay, brilliant. Well, I shall see all of you scallywags out on the sea of stars shortly.
Unless
You
you
said you-
want to hang out anytime before that.
Oh, I have to get my supplies ready for.
I can
the,
help.
the
I can help.
journey,
I can help do that.
but- we'll be hanging out soon, my soon to be friend. And he looks at Slems and is like, Slems, remember, while I'm on board, I could give you more blade lessons. And then he leaves.
Honestly, I think that's a good idea. I think we should all take blade lessons. You know, hand-to-hand combat is very important in piracy.
Oh, I was already going to, but I don't know. I think I might marry this man. It depends on how it goes.
A few minutes later, there's another knock on the door, and the door opens, and you guys don't see anybody.
I'm gonna look
And
down.
then looking down, you could see then climbing up into the chair the drone engineer.
Oh, good. I was about to ask Vim if he was still alive.
How tall is this drone engineer?
2.5 feet tall.
It's cute. Instantly hired.
Is that what you say to it?
Yes. Like,
Thank you, my captain.
You're cute. You're instantly hired.
Acknowledge.
Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, I feel like that was the most Deadpool X-Force interview to date.
Right.
Do we really need 3 engineers?
I mean, if one dies, we got 2 replacements.
If one of them
Oh,
has a
very-
grav belt, they're
very
probably going to
reasonable.
die. And I'm gonna put. I've gathered from context clues that
We're just gonna find him crawling on the floor, like some guy took my grab belt.
I'm just saying, like, Slems just refuses to buy one from the store. I think he's just gonna kill whoever he sees wearing one.
Right.
No, I couldn't find one the last time I went looking.
Also look at this. Also look at this little drone. Like, just don't you just want to pinch its cheeks?
Oh, I think I'm.
Doesn't it have a beak?
Tell us about your engineering experience and skills.
I was originally raised within a hive on a drone ship. Then I was taken by a crew of Aslan as a slave, and then was liberated by a pirate ship, which I operated as an engineer for 4 years.
What kind of systems would you say you're best with?
Life support.
So we'd have a life support engineer. What's his name? Said he was really good at M drives.
M drives and power.
drives. And power.
And who's our third engineer?
Billiam is great
He's
with
the jump.
jump,
He's the
jump
jump
drives.
He's the jump engineer.
He's the wolf guy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So there isn't like any super overlapping functionality, right? Like they can
Yeah,
all
there's not.
they can all do like different jobs.
Yes.
Also, do they have like passing do they have like what's a good way to ask that? Do they have passing familiarity with the systems they're not responsible for?
Anybody that would have like the equivalent of one rank in one particular engineering score would at the very least have a 0 in all the others.
Okay, that's good. He asked.
Okay.
Yep.
Be like, yeah, I know you're hired.
Thank you. I shall report to the ship when you contact me.
Also, we need we need like a ship's mascot. How would you like to be that mascot?
Isn't
That was Vim's
Yeah,
job.
it's Vim. Vim's our
Vim-
mascot.
Vim could be the co-mascot.
Okay, what is it with you sharing duties like this today? It's we'll have co-pilots and a co-mascot.
Are you gonna have Vim wear a papoose that he puts the engineer in?
Yes.
No.
We're gonna get sued. Even as pirates, we're
Not
gonna
a
get sued.
child.
Also, did we hire Andrew's battle dress crush?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
She was already hired.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the last person to show up here, as Vim knocks one more time, you see this guy walk in. He's bald. He has scars all over his face. Is the human Solomani mercenary. He comes in kind of with a saunter and just like sits down and nods at you all. I just want Ukluna now to make a roll. Ukluna. This is going to be 2d6 plus 2.
5.
Okay. When you look at this guy, for just a second, this guy, besides you seeing him that one other time, he kind of looked familiar, but you just can't place it.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep that to myself, I think, until I figure that out. Can I tell? Does he look like he recognizes me?
Not particularly, maybe just from you the interview you had before.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. So he says, "Yep. My name is Byrne Williams. I'm proficient in as I said in the other meeting, I'm proficient in both handheld firearms and ship's turrets."
Have you done any spycraft? Any kind of work for covert spy agencies?
Nah, nothing that I can recall. I mostly operate in areas where I make things go boom.
Okay.
How proficient are you with, like, how many years have you been a turret? Have you been a gunner?
I've worked around Solomani territories mostly. I've had stints on various different ships uh, for about 12 years. So I'd say I'm pretty damn proficient.
What brings you
I
to our
know,
little asshole of the galaxy?
sometimes work dries up in a certain area, and you need to find yourself greener pastures.
Explain.
There are members of the Imperium that can get a little bit racist with members of the Solomani, and I was kind of sick of dealing with their bullshit.
Yeah, as one does. I understand.
So here, out in the Trojan Reach, I thought I could remake myself.
Well, luckily, everyone under my crew is treated the same. He says, you're all equal.
That's good. Democratic like old Earth.
I'm gonna kind of like in my spinny chair, spin around and like ask if the other three have any questions for him.
No, I think I asked what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't assume there are any like additional roles I could make that would help me like jog my memory or figure out where I know him from. Is there?
Maybe insight.
Well, he did mention a bit more about old Earth and operating in Solomani space, so I'll give you one more roll, 2d6 plus 2.
9.
You remember shortly before leaving and coming over here, reading something about a Solomani terrorist that was turned to working for Imperium intelligence. And looking at this guy and hearing him talk about his previous work, it sounds familiar.
Okay, let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. He was a terrorist and was convinced to be a spy for the Imperium.
You're not sure how they convinced him, but he was basically turned into an asset.
And I assume the Imperium is going to be a faction that we will go after at some point, right? Or is that it's not the one? That's not the faction we're working for, is it?
No, you're working for Drynax.
Oh, okay.
So the Trojan Reach operates in this this area that's in between the territories of the Imperium and the Aslan hierarchy.
Okay. And
So both the Aslan and the Imperium have vested interests within this area.
Okay. Well, that's definitely something I will clue my fellow crewmates into immediately.
How are you cluing? Are you saying this out loud, or like in a
well in our little huddle?
So is that a yes? Is that a no?
Well,
He might be a plant.
I mean, he almost certainly is. I say we kill him now.
That seems a little extreme.
from a certain point of view, I suppose. It is an interesting it's an interesting thought that the Imperium would be trying to send spies to pirate ships. And I'm a little curious about that. I mean, we can't have them aboard the ship, right?
I'm gonna.
Should we ask him more questions?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I doubt he's going to admit to being a spy. I mean, unless we, torture him or something.
Well, we know that we know that you were a spy, right? Or no?
I think it's been mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just want to, I'll ask him some more. We'll ask him some more questions and
If you think you can trip him up or get him to admit to something, then I think we should just cut him loose.
Yeah, I don't see much of a. I mean, what like
the only thing would be that since we know he's a spy, if we could use that to our advantage.
It gets some intelligence, maybe.
It is very dangerous. It is a very dangerous proposition with everything else we have going on right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just.
I don't see much upside of having him on the crew. I mean, he's going to see vital systems and tactics, right? And he'll be reporting back. However, we might, if you ask the right questions, we might figure out like what he's like, what exactly he's looking for, or maybe not. I don't know. Is there a way that I can watch him while Sean asks the questions?
You can.
And then like, I don't know, try to use my brain to figure it out. My big old spy brain.
So you want to just kind of try to read his body language as he goes along?
Yeah, I guess, but also like through the lens of my like, because I would know if he's a spy, I would know what kind of tactics he'd be using to try to get information.
You know what? I would have you probably roll for your deception skill against his if he was using deception.
What is my deception skill?
It's 1.
Is that good?
It's all right. You're proficient in it.
All right, well, let's do it. Yeah.
So he said he was a gunner, right?
Yeah, and he can use regular handheld, and he can also be a turret gunner.
Right, but like he could be lying about that just to get on the ship.
And he also says that he's proficient in explosives.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him I'm gonna ask him like an advanced gunnery question.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know really much about gunnery specifics for the system. So could I just ask like a BS question, and then you could like formulate it into...
Your character would know what to ask, is what you're saying.
Yeah, with all the jargon and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you make up some fancy words for Sean?
So you ask him like, in a naval ship combat, at what range you should be using different calibers of turret weaponry, and you go through all the different sorts of turret weaponry, and piece by piece, this guy seems to know what he's talking about. He's giving you correct answers.
And then I'm going to follow up with the coup de grace. Who is the deadliest SOB in space?
Me, when I'm behind the turret seat.
Ah, okay. So actually, it's Sir Isaac Newton.
Oh, that ancient Earth guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks at you and he's like, "Oh, I'm surprised that you knew. I figured you for a Volani who didn't know about anything from Earth."
Oh, I see. Oh, I see now. I see the racism there now. I see it.
Are you not a Volani?
I am, but just you assumed I was one.
No, you
okay.
I mean,
I'm gonna nudge you with my elbow because we want information from him. Can I ask him if there are any specific questions he'd like to ask us, and then use this deception thing to try to figure out what he's trying to find out?
Nah, I mean, I heard you were looking for a crew, and I just suspected that it was probably to help with that mysterious new ship that Drynax seems to have.
I see.
Okay. So
So-
if we were to put you in charge of where to go on our first pirate mission, where would you want to go?
That's an interesting question. So, what's your intent? Is it just to hit a ship, or are we looking at something bigger, like a colony?
It depends on what mood we're in, and if which one is closer to the worth of $38 million. I won't explain why, but it's a thing around here.
He said, well, okay. Let me approach this at a couple of different angles then. If you're looking at more hitting a like colony world, I probably would go, assuming we have something that can, have a bit of extra fuel and extra jump. The Aslan hierarchy world of Kiatoria, which is just 2 parsecs away. That would be a great colony world to hit. I think they're kind of ripe for the plucking. If you were just kind of looking for traffic that's going through some trade, you're looking for like a little trader or something, I'd probably just park my ship near the gas giant in Torpal and just find someone who's just coming into the planet to trade.
Okay. So we've been asking the people that we're interviewing to try to be a little bit familiar with the ship that we intend to fly out, just to make sure that you're not stepping onto a ship that you know nothing about. So are there any specific questions you would like to know about the ship, and how interested in seeing a diagram of the ship and like a list of all of its vital systems?
I mean, if I was to be hired, sure. I mean, you got to learn the layout of your ship, because when shit goes down, you need to know where to go, what things are happening. If there's like an explosion or something, sometimes you might need to take the role of one of your other crewmates. So yeah, I'd make sure to familiarize myself with the ship.
Okay. So at some point in here, I'm going to take, like you said, I could roll for deception, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So because the read that I'm getting on him is that he wants to know about our ship, right?
I think the answer that he gave you there might be an answer that most people would have given you.
That wasn't the answer that clued me in on it. It was 2 answers ago. He was talking about a rumored ship.
Yeah, you would have heard that. No one else really mentioned that.
Yeah, that's why I asked him the question about the ship in the first place. Is because I heard his answer earlier about wanting to,
Sure. So roll 1d6. 2d6 plus 1. Yeah. He seems. He definitely picked up a little bit in his voice when you mentioned about the mysterious ship. So you did get some interest that you think was a bit beyond just wanting a job there.
Okay. All right. So that's, I mean, I think for us, that's intelligence that we don't really know what to do with yet, but it does, I mean, it would follow that the Imperium is interested in our ship. Right?
Potentially, yes.
Okay. Like I said, I don't know what to do with that. I mean, it might be something we just need to file away and be aware of.
I mean, we could just outright ask him if he's a spy.
I did, and he said no.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was about to say, as a spy, I know exactly what he's going to tell you. It's going to take quite a lot to get him to admit to anything. In fact, he's more likely just to run out of here if you even suggest it.
I have my sword on me, right?
Mm-mm.
Darn.
You do
How did
you do
he
not.
keep his sword?
If you ask Slems, the
Can I borrow your sword?
Leonard who you hired is actually the king's swordmaster.
Okay, gotcha.
So he's being given special dispensation to carry around his swords.
Can we recall Leonard in here, or is he long gone?
Well, also hold on. I just realized it's like 10 minutes after 9.
Yeah.
And it's getting kind of late, so let's put a pin in this, and then as long as my face works a week from now, and I'm hoping that it does, we'll reconvene and we should pick this up like right where we're leaving off, because this is kind of interesting.
Are you getting surgery?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Is everything okay? or-
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, everything's fine.
Gotcha.
I'm nervous about it,
Alright.
but that's just because I'm anxious about everything.
I gotcha.
Are you guys